going on, collective? Today we're going to be speaking on an allegory because I'm struggling with it. Shout out Damon Darling, as I always am when the moon transits from Gemini to the next moon phase. That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about the transit from this earth to this air energy, from standing on business to catching a flight, you know what I'm saying, taking trips. And so it's gonna be a quick one. So if nobody joins and you see this late, then so be it. So mote be. But so right now, when the moon was in Taurus, it was like you're a player on the football field, right? And Taurus in sextile to shout out to Cadian is when you have, we're talking about going from standing on business with Taurus, this grounded energy, and the sun in Virgo, to just airheadedness, taking flights, and just going off the rails, for me at least, because when the moon transits, there's always this lingering energy. So we went from Taurus to Gemini. So this is allegory I'm making. This allegory is towards football, right? So you have your main star player on the field, right? And the Taurus sextiles to Mars in Cancer. Now, Mars is falling in Cancer, and people can tell you, like, falling is when this planet is asleep, it's not doing its best work, it's slacking, it's lackadaisical. But I like to, what I believe, you know what I'm saying, what I know it actually is doing is it's in a meditative space. And when you're in a meditative space, you are in your own world. You're in your own zen. You're letting your thoughts fly by, which is what Mars is doing, gathering strength, gathering spiritual strength. As it's at the high of its high in the summer solstice, it's achieved what it wants to achieve. It's at its highest point in Cancer. So it's mothering, it's nurturing, it's a retired veteran, you could say, reaping the benefits, right? So it's in a meditative space, and when you're disrupted in the meditative space, you are irritated, you're agitated. So when it's irritated and agitated, it's aware of its mind, and it's like, wait a minute, these passions, motivations, and desires are not being accumulated accurately in that speedy time. So then what's the star player do on the field? It starts to point the finger at everyone else, takes everything personal, right? Because it's squaring. Mars is squaring Libra. Talk about Libra now. Mars is squaring Libra. So you got the teammates that are sacrificing for one person, and then the one person that's sacrificing for the entire team. And, you know, so the Mars individual, the star player, might start pointing fingers at everyone else. And why is he pointing fingers at everyone else? Because of coach. The coach is on the sideline. Now, based on what the coach has going on, he might have a personal one-on-one relationship with his star player. So the coach is going to be Sun in Virgo, cusping Libra. So it's real dusty. So he's got all these details on his clipboard, but up here in his mind, he has how it's balanced, how it's fair, how it makes sense for him to put this pressure, apply this pressure on his one-star player, because he knows that he can handle it from sitting back and analyzing practices and things of that nature. So the coach represents the Sun, cusping Virgo and Libra. Now, behind him, right, and it's also his opposition to Aries. So he might have other people that are competitive, other people that he feels like, okay, you're sitting on the bench right now, so you'll be more competitive and you'll show more energy when you get on the field. So then you have the parents in the stands. The parents are just there for blood. As long as it's fair and they get to see their babies, like, it's like in conjunction, daytime of Venus and the nighttime of Venus. So the parents is Uranus and Taurus, rebellion, opposition, but being original and authentic. They don't care. They want to make sense. Their version of making sense is surface level. As long as all of our babies get in the game and play, then hoorah, you know what I'm saying? And they're all in it together. And that's just the allegory that I had. That's just the allegory. And his intentions are more long-term based. Long-term. And this can represent Saturn and Pisces. Because the depositor of the exaltation of Libra will be in Pisces. And the depositor or exaltation of Pisces is in Libra. So they're trying to... It's like feeling like you're born into the wrong family, right? So then you got the uncle that, you get taken under his wing, but somehow it could be the wrong influence that is impressioned upon you, right? So because you still got to work with what you have to work with, Saturn and Venus and things of that nature, right? Because it's helping lift up, the other aspects or the inconjunctions or dealing with the collective, right? So I'm going with Saturn and Pisces as a trine to Mars, because Saturn and Pisces isn't the coach. Saturn and Pisces is the actual game. It's the actual collective. It's the actual dreams and imagination. You being in your own world, not you pointing fingers. That's a stink bug climbing down my walking staff right there. Strong symbolism right there. Protected and grounded. But I just wanted to, make that quick little point as an allegory of the lingering Taurus energy. And emotionally, coming out of that exaltation, y'all be careful coming out of that exaltation, because you're going from an exaltation to a detriment, working harder at expanding and pushing forward with the information that you have. But the information is everywhere, and overseeing the duality of the information can get you not just... It can get you expanded, carry you far, just by word of mouth, just by your reputation, just by, people see you, people hear you before they see you. Where there's smoke, there's usually flames, right? So don't get too wrapped up in all this information that you think you need to go to emotionally, because you're reacting and you're responding, your Merkaba, your moon, your emotions, and being at home, being comfortable, and it's like a fatal attraction, because you have Gemini on the right, on the left side of Cancer, and then you got Libra is a square. So, but it's still in between those two air signs at the moment, where they have a trine balancing out, and it's not grand air trine no more because Pluto's still in Capricorn. So you basically do got a cardinal square to work with, but these are the slower moving planets, the slower moving bodies that take a little longer. But that's all I had to get on here to break down, based off of yesterday's. Don't be so defensive over your passions and motivations when you get irritated. Just remember to breathe, and don't be so hard on yourself too. Forgive and forget, because Neptune working with Saturn is about letting that energy, letting that imagination go, especially during this retrograde time. It's previous energies. It's previous, but Jupiter isn't retrograde yet. So when Jupiter just does go retrograde, it's gonna be questioning. You're gonna be questioning, what were you trying to escape, or were you trying to expand? And it's like a whole yin yang. Were you trying to expand into some information? Where you're trying to hunt down some information? Like me, you know how you open one tab, and then you go to one tab, and you go to one tab, and you go to another tab, and you're on TikTok. Next thing you know, you're like 6 tabs in, like that. Are you expanding into some information to dig? With Mercury, like, questioning. Like, Mercury's still here, so it doesn't have a helper of the sun. It just has this cardinal energy initiating balance and stability. And instead of going into the details, Libra's like, is you left or are you right? And Virgo's like, well, it's a blended energy. It's the dualities. It's this and this and this and this. You start seeing more of the Piscean energy. Virgo's relating more on the opposite spectrum of the energy, just because it's too close in friction with Libra. And Libra reminds Virgo too much of Piscean energy. But Pisces is unconscious, going with the flow like energy. Libra is actually initiating the order and the structure. And Virgo is like, when you get to that point, Virgo is coming down from its creativity. from Leo. How it's taking what it learned that makes sense about itself that it has to worry about, because once Leos get off of the stage, then they don't really have too many worries, but they put it upon themselves to worry about the details of how does it look on camera, how does it look on the program, how do the sponsors take it, how what time is it airing, what time is the show airing, right? And that's where Virgo could be more critical of its own self, of its own entertainment. That's where its own inner criticism comes from, because it's so entertaining when it's in Leo that by the time it gets off stage in Leo, it's like, now I'm about to take off this hat and look at myself, versus receiving the actual attention. That's why Leos fight so hard for the attention at that point anyways. And we'll see more of that when Mars goes into Leo. I didn't have a point for saying that when it goes into Leo, but that's that though. I'm about to get up out here, go pick up my son from school. I appreciate it going on live for the 2 people that joined, wherever 2 or more are gathered together. I was gonna say, my baby asleep, or is she just not feeling good? Just drinking my tea. Love y'all. And love y'all. And know your power before I get out of here. This is the seal of, if you need it, because I'm an occultist. This is the seal of Marbas. He is the 5th ruler and great prince of hell, and he is a witch doctor and a mechanical artist, an animation artist. He worked with healing and distributing illnesses as well. So he works with healing and distributing illnesses: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. And this is just within you. This is you. So say your affirmation for physical health, mental health, emotional health with the energy. He's the 5th great prince, ruler of hell, ruler of 36 legions. I forgot to mention, give him the accolade, rulers of 36 legions. And this is the 5th of the 72 goetic powers within your mind, within your pineal gland, like the where I have it around here. I had the pine cone around here, and it's the 5th of the petals. You know what I'm saying? But that's, know your power. Know your power. This my. You know what I'm saying? But I love y'all boys. Stay up, and gals, and everyone. Boy, yeah.